Okay, this is Unit 2, Trig Review, questions 7 through 9, and we were asked to find the exact solution of the equation. So number 7 reads, the inverse sine of x equals pi over 2. Our goal is to isolate x. So to do that, I have to take the inverse function of sine inverse, which is regular sine. So what I'm going to do is take the inverse function of that, and what you do to one side, I have to do to the other. So when I do this, these two cancel each other out, and I'm left with x equals the sine at pi over 2. So at this point, you can use your unit circle. The unit circle says at pi over 2, that point there is going to be 0, 1. So therefore, sine is my y value, so the answer is going to be 1. So x equals 1. So if you look up the answer key, the answer to this is going to be D. All right, number 8. I'm going to rate that a little nicer, guys, because that just was really awful. So number 8 says 6 inverse cosine x equals pi. Okay, once again, your whole goal is to isolate x. So to do that, the first thing I have to do is divide both sides by 6. So I have my original function, and then I'm going to divide both sides by 6. That'll allow me to get rid of the 6 off the left-hand side, and when I do that, I get cosine inverse x equals pi over 6. So this next thing is to isolate x, so the inverse of inverse cosine is regular cosine. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by regular cosine. And when I do that, I get x equals cosine at pi over 6. Now I just have to evaluate that. Remember, pi over 6 is 30 degrees, so x equals radical 3 over 2. And like I said, you can use your unit circle or your triangles to come up with the values. So radical 3 over 2, answer is A. So the answer to this is A. All right, and finally number 9. Just keeps on bumping back and forth. There we go. We're asked to find 3 inverse tangent 2x equals pi. Alright, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try to isolate x. So I'm going to take and divide both sides by 3. And what I do to one side, I have to do the other. So I get inverse tangent of 2x equals pi over 3. My next step is to get rid of that inverse tangent. So I take the inverse function, which is regular tangent, and I'm going to multiply both sides by that value. Okay, so when I do that, these two cancel. I'm going to cancel the two functions out, so I'm left with 2x equals tangent of pi over 3. Okay, so I'm basically looking to get this finally done, so I have to isolate x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And remember, you're not supposed to use a calculator, so I just wanted to make that clear. So I get x equals tangent of pi over 3 over 2. So once again, you can use your unit circle, or if you would like, you can also use a triangle. If you use a triangle, tan of 60 degrees is radical 3. So radical 3 over 2 is going to be my answer, and that corresponds to answer A. All right, so thanks for watching. Once again, that was questions 7 through 9.